The key focus of the SLBC at this point is to make the establishment attractive so that we get the attention of the populace.
Now, let's talk about the immediate plans you have for the corporation, especially when the SLBC is trying to go digital. So let's talk about the immediate plans.
The immediate plans are there. The Board of Trustees, the Director General, myself, and the rest of management have been doing a lot to ensure that the digital migration that SLBC has been clamoring for, that SLBC needs badly, comes into fruition. At the moment, several entities are being looked into to ensure that we bring about the realization or materialization of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in a digital form. We want a situation where people in far-flung areas from Freetown, in Kailahun, in Cambia, in Kabbalah, are able to tune their TV and watch the national broadcaster having very sharp and clear pictures from Freetown or from somewhere near them. We want a situation where our chief of bureaus in the different provinces will be able to report live from the different areas. We want a situation where you do not need to be in Freetown to read the news. You can read the news from Bo, you can read the news from Pujang, and the digital migration will do that. The government is trying, in consonance with the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, its board and its management, to ensure that that becomes a reality. A lot of arrangements are taking place. A lot of proposals are coming in, and it will not be long before that takes real shape. Just like we've been doing, you know, it takes teamwork to ensure that anything goes on according to plan. And that is what we're going to do. Everyone is important in this establishment. We all have different skills. We all have different focuses. We must have a unity of command. We all must have a unity of focus. We must have our timelines. We must have what we are working towards. Once we set those targets and we play in our different wings in the team, we will be able to establish and reach those goals. What we need to know is to set timelines for ourselves. What are we going to do in the next quarter? How are we going to reach them? If there are problems ahead of us, or we're going to encounter these difficulties, when we encounter them, how are we going to ensure that we go past them? These are all things that we have been putting in place and things that we are going to continue with as time goes.
Now, funding for the corporation is a big problem. And now it's only when the president signs our salaries that's been paid. So how are you going to work with the team to ensure that the corporation is funded?
Let's see how things work. It is very difficult in this part of Africa to have the public broadcaster sustaining itself financially. And in all other public broadcasters in Africa and the world, there is no such one that is not receiving financial assistance from the government. There was a time when people thought that as an independent national broadcaster, this entity will be able to manage its own financial affairs. But the only thing the SLBC has got to sell or to make money is airtime. And this is not one of those countries where people depend hugely on adverts, which is what SLBC has got. Not too many people are doing programs. Not too many people are willing to sponsor programs. SLBC gets monies from rents, from the lease at Leicester Peak, but that happens once a year. Like the British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC, they continue to get monies from the government, and we are sure that they're beginning to listen to us. We're going to keep pressing so that what we need so badly, which is this financial independence, which we could get from government coffers, becomes a reality.
Now, finally, before leaving you, should Sierra Leoneans rely on you for a total transformation, taking into consideration your expertise over the years in broadcasting?
Yes, but it takes much more than a single individual. You know, yes, I have got an enormous amount of experience working in broadcasting. It's been 21 years since I started with my debut. So now, 21 years later, there's a lot I have gained. I gained a lot working for the United Nations Radio, for instance, for 10 years, during which, on several occasions, I was head of the radio. On a number of occasions, I even acted as chief of section, the public information section. So there is that expertise which I have transferred to the SLBC, and which the SLBC has benefited from time to time. Yes, I am going to ensure that where I can give my own little support, where I can give my own little suggestions, where my wisdom is needed, I am able to present those, so that with what I have presented based on experience, workable experience, we could pick, run, and ensure that all that becomes a benefit to the national broadcaster.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.